What's up, wrestling fans, and welcome to a mini state of the WWE. I don't know what number we're on. I think we're on 96. It's been a while. We sort of had a great rhythm going, I think, when I was like me, Jake, and like Dave a lot of times would get on here almost every other day and do one. And then when the whole YouTube algorithm thing changed, we sort of didn't know where to go with it. But I'm going to try to get back.
It was hard because we were making long-term episodes and then couldn't, so...
Yeah, we could, but...
long-term content was...
It was killing because it didn't do anything, but I don't know. It's all right. Well, I think I'm going to start...
People weren't seeing it either.
Yeah, and then no one was seeing it, yeah. Well, we're back, I guess. I'm going to try to keep doing it every day. I've got a few more people on board to do more wrestling talk, bring it back, as it's only been about 2 weeks that it's been off the rails, but... Anyway, we're off the, what the hell was last night called? Extreme Rules, which wasn't extreme at all.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
it was mundane rules.
It was, like every other Extreme Rules, too. Like, you can go back in history of however many years I've ranted about wrestling on YouTube, and every single time there's, like, a Extreme Rules or Extreme something, if it's not, like, it gets buried worse, because who the fuck wants to watch Extreme Rules when it's not extreme?
Exactly. What's the point?
When the opening match is don't do anything extreme. Like, the opening fucking match is don't do anything extreme or you'll be or anything. Like, even if Dean Ambrose was to not break a hold after a 6 count, he would have been disqualified. And by the way, I think that match was 25 minutes long or something. How long was that?
The whole segment was about, I think, 32 minutes, someone had said.
Holy
The match was roughly 25. And I got confused. You know, this is one thing that we didn't really discuss last night. But, like, the referee, it's not his job to do anything but officiate, and him getting involved. And, you know, when Maurice slapped The Miz, that should have been it. The bell should have rang. You know, he should have been disqualified, and he shouldn't get to decide, hey, you know, I know what you're doing. This is your plan to win the belt. He should just officiate. You know, that should be up to the general manager to say, oh, you can't win it like that. We need to restart the match or something.
Yeah.
But the referee should have just rung the bell at that point.
Yeah, the next step is for the referee to do that. Like, the next match would have been like Shane telling the referee to, you know what I mean, look out for this. You
Ignore
know what I mean?
Maurice or Vader from ringside, or, you know, but the ref should have rang the bell right then and there, and Dean Ambrose should have lost the title with the stipulation. It's not up to the referee to you know, go ahead and decide what's fair, what's legal, in the sense of, you know, you just follow the match rules and stipulation. That's it. You don't get to decide morally what you feel is right and wrong. Yeah,
it was weird. I didn't.
So that set a bad precedent and tone for the night. And then the Hardys, the cage match, I went back and I watched the ending again, and you know, Matt was out before Cesaro and Sheamus, obviously, because he was trying to drag Jeff out. So the whole business about, you know, it being reset because Jeff jumped back in, you know, when he re-entered the match, and now he's no longer considered escaped the cage.
Yeah.
It was very odd. It didn't really make sense. You know, so now the Hardys both have to escape again, but essentially Jeff already escaped, so why does it reset if he gets back in?
I think to me it's all both members have to jump out, like, be outside the cage at once. Like, it's not like
at the same time.
Yeah, like if Jeff Hardy's
said both members have to escape. It was the way they worded it that screwed them in the end.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's convoluted and confusing. And
then you had Austin Aries losing and not knowing where he's going to go from here. I mean,
that whole night. The last night was awful. That main event was great. I mean, Seth Rollins off the top rope was sick. Like, that stuff was cool in the main event, but...
Oh, yeah. I mean, Seth with that frog splash to the table, and the table, I noticed, I didn't catch it right away last night, but the table didn't collapse properly because the ring stairs were against the edge of the table, so he did hit his shin, his right shin, and his calf onto the edge of where the table normally, because the table usually would have fell outwards, but the ring steps were right against the front of the announce table. So
the only thing I'll say is I think Seth knew that might happen because, like, he hit the corner of it on the hardest part of the table, and I think he knew he was going to land there. Like, so I think he was sort of prepared for it. The good news is he came down like on his hands and knees like equally. He didn't come down fully on his knees.
Yeah, his weight was evenly distributed.
Yeah, so like I mean, I'm sure.
That's for sure.
I'm sure it hurt like a little bit. Like that wasn't how you want to draw it up, really, but it could be worse. So that's a badass.
There was
joke.
a lot of great spots in that match for sure, Joe. Like you said, that the main event was good, but I don't think it did enough to save the whole night.
No, unfortunately. I mean, I'll just say like, if maybe that was their goal. Like, I mean, I almost feel like that was their goal, was like to make the main event, make sure that looks awesome, and fuck everything else. Because Dean Ambrose and The Miz, I get the story. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not like an idiot. Like, people are like, you know, the WWE officials and people that I talk to would say like, well, don't you understand the story of, whoa, it's so compelling that like, you know, Dean can't. There's a story there. I get that, but wrong pay-per-view for that story to happen. Like Extreme Rules, like that should be, you know, this
should have been a Payback or Backlash.
It should have been the
Great
opposite.
Balls of Fire, even.
Or honestly, it should have been before this. This story should have been the show before this, or on Raw or something.
Yeah, at Payback.
And then this one should be like anything goes. You know what I mean? Well, now, you know what I mean? Now anything goes. You know, Dean Ambrose was not able to touch The Miz, and he got disqualified, you know, blah, blah, blah. There's a distraction with the referee, but there'll be no distractions in this match at Extreme Rules because...
Well, see, that's a great point, because The Miz should have already captured the belt, and then this could have been the both blow-off and end to the feud, but it could have been truly extreme. Like you said, had Dean Ambrose already lost the belt due to, you know, the bullshit stipulation... then he would have had a reason to make it a no holds barred, no disqualification, anything goes, all out, you know, Ambrose Asylum style match. So,
well, also too,
even the Ambrose Asylum, as crappy as that first match was, would have better served here. You know?
Well, at least Jericho went through tax. I mean, that match would have been a horseshit pile of dung if it wasn't for Jericho. Because I just couldn't. Yeah,
Jericho was a crazy, you know, bastard during that match. But...
You know what's funny about that, though? I feel bad for Jericho, and I want to talk about Elias Sampson in a second, but I felt bad for Jericho because I heard his podcast about that, and he was like, I don't get it, man. Some people didn't like it, and we did all this stuff. Like, what the fuck? Like, and he had a great point, but it was like, I think that it was so bad before the tax, before all that happened, that it didn't work. Like it lulled people into like sleep, into like what, and people are already down on Dean. I mean, I get Jericho's criticism of maybe certain fans or like people that didn't get it, because like, yeah, Jericho going through the tax was amazing. It was like, but the problem was by the time Jericho went through the tax, people had already been like asleep, so like it didn't really pop anybody the way it should have, because they lulled people to sleep. And
well, Jericho was also. Yeah, exactly. No, Jericho was also upset that people cared more about Mitch the Potted Plant than you know, the fact that Jericho hurt and injured Dean Ambrose with the potted plant. You know, it became a meme, and he said he was really pissed off about that. That's why it was like, oh, you guys got to ditch all this Mitch stuff. I'm not doing it. Get rid of this Mitch, you know, graphic and all these things, because Mitch shouldn't be the focus here. A stupid potted plant. It should be that I knocked Dean Ambrose out and kept him off TV for 3 weeks because I hit him in the back of the head with a big potted plant.
You know what, fucking Jericho? Then don't have the plant. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? If you hit him with a fucking potted plant, what do you think's going to happen? What is wrong with them? They have backwards thinking, dude. Like, dude, Dean Ambrose, this goes back to WrestleMania. I don't blame Jericho, because Jericho's trying to, like, he's right, I mean, in a way. But that's, what do they think is going to happen with the booking? Somebody in the back should have said, we can't use a potted plant, or there's going to be memes. Like, I mean, that's obvious. If you use a potted plant.
Especially when you name the plant.
Yeah, it's already set up. It's already set up. It's not like when Jericho does that, it doesn't become heinous or crazy. It doesn't become Roddy Piper coconut. It doesn't become, you know, fucking barbershop window Shawn Michaels. Although, yes, it is possible that in this day and age that even would be turned into some goofy meme. But, you know, when you're talking about potted plant, like it's like, no, that's not close.
Yeah, once they gave it a personality and you know, they imbued character onto this potted plant.
Yeah.
You know, that whole segment was done for.
But this goes back to WrestleMania when Dean Ambrose touted around like fucking baseball bats with barbed wire and chairs and chainsaws and just all these things, and he said he was going to bring them all, and he brought them around in a wagon, and they basically advertised that at WrestleMania Dean Ambrose was going to have all these fucking weapons or whatever, right? Or was that the sell, or was that Brock Lesnar? Wasn't that Brock Lesnar? And then Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose was a piece of shit. So it's like, Dean Ambrose
at Mania.
Now, whether or not it's Dean's fault, because it doesn't seem like it's really Dean's fault, but whether or not it's Dean's fault, the perception, and I'm not talking about the girls who want to fuck Dean Ambrose, or the kids who love Ambrose or whatever, or the simple wrestling fans who buy into the cookie cutter moveset that he now has, and the look and the catchphrases of the Ambrose Asylum, or whatever the fucking lunatic fringe things they say. I'm not talking about those people, because those people will buy into anything. It doesn't matter. Those 1 million people, I guess, will always be there to buy a fucking cup. But I'm talking about the people that could have grown, the audience that would have grown because of this at WrestleMania, or the hardcore fans, or the people that really actually could maybe make a difference, or the new fans you could have gotten by doing this. All those people take Dean Ambrose as a fraud. Because that match didn't deliver. One time didn't he lose? Was it him that lost to a TV, or was that Bray Wyatt?
No, he lost to the TV when he was facing Bray Wyatt.
So Dean Ambrose has lost to a television. We remember that year. Then we remember at WrestleMania when he said he was going to do all this harm, and then he didn't. And then he brought weapons, and then he didn't bring. No weapons were used at all.
That was also because of Brock Lesnar, though.
It's true, but you know what? The people in WWE need to immediately realize that, and I think that's where the Ambrose Asylum came from. I think that was sort of like
that's in part of it.
That might have been Jericho and Ambrose and WWE being like, well, we need to do what you wanted to do, but you can do it with Jericho. I think I give them a lot of credit for trying, and I will say that watching Jericho at the end of that match go through the thumbtacks, like, I will watch that a lot because it's great. Jericho did a badass thing. Unfortunately, I feel bad for Jericho because the story was so bad before that, and the match wasn't that good leading up to it, that their feud was pretty lackluster all in all. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, let's use some of the weapons a little bit, all that, but we'll get to this moment where, wow, you know what I mean? I'm going to go through tax. Like, they're not going to see this coming, you know what I mean? So, but you almost missed it. It's almost like I'm trying to relate it to something. It's like when Leah's drunk. My wife is drunk. Like, she doesn't drink much, but like once in a while, like, we drink and whatever. And like, so you want to sit back and enjoy it because you're like enjoying her like being silly. So like when she starts to get to that point where she's like, when she's finally drunk, when my wife gets to be drunk. So sometimes it's fun to sit back and just laugh at her. But like, you know,
have fun and enjoy the moment.
But at the end of the night, like, me and her are gonna go like hook up and stuff or something. So it's like, well, that's gonna be fun because I'm drunk and she's drunk, and this is gonna be a lot of fun. But when you're drunk and she's drunk, you're kind of like enjoying it because you're like, you don't normally see it, but you're in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I can't wait till, you know, in a few minutes, you know, we'll in a little while we'll go hook up and we'll be off the air. We won't be drinking and doing a show anymore. But then like she sometimes reaches the point where she starts, you know, getting sick, like, and then tired, and it's like, oh, well, we're not doing anything tonight, you know.
Now all your previous plans and preconceived notions are out the window.
Yeah, I was like, oh, we're going to have a nice time alone, and oh, no, that's not going to happen. I spent too much time admiring it. Well, that's what Jericho and Dean did to the audience.
The kids wake up, or...
Yeah, someone wakes up, oh, damn it, like, oh, we missed it.
You know?
Well, that's what happened with this match.
Exactly. You're missing the window of opportunity. It went out the window. They had a perfect chance. They had a great
Where was
moment.
I going with that? What am I fucking talking about? Like, yeah, but...
No, I get your point. Because basically what you're trying to say is that, you know, they really could have been something special, but they dragged it out for so long that when we finally got to the payoff match, they were very slow working in the match, and it all built up to the tack point. But to get there, it wasn't worth it.
Right.
They had the stupid straight jacket and the kendo stick and the potted plant and all these stupid, you know, pointless things to get to the tack spot. And by the time you got there, everybody was so goddamn bored that,
everyone was asleep.
They missed their chance to make it a great match.
I remember almost thinking, like, yelling at the TV, like, does anyone know he just went through tax? I mean, because they were still asleep. They didn't care. Like, it was like, oh. But it was great.
Speaking of Yeah, it was a great spot.
Well, Jericho's always good. I think Jericho always has to be careful with that because he does, like, Jericho has the ability. I've talked about this the other day. Like, I praised him. He has the ability to be like a comedic act. He has the ability to be a straight up badass wrestler act. He has the ability.
Very serious heel.
But yeah, then he's got the serious heel, like the drinking alcohol thing with CM Punk. Like, he's got lots of different sort of faces. That's why he's so goddamn talented. Like, whenever I do something,
he's very multifaceted.
Yeah, so it was really cool, but unfortunately, I think he wanted it to go the more serious route. But he's upset that, you know, people took it as they were thinking we're in the comedic thing, we're in the comedy thing. Oh, now he's going through tax. Like, what the fuck, you know? So but that match was not good.
He wanted it to be more serious.
The tax saved the match. I was going to give the match a 1 or a 2, and then he went through tax, and I gave it a 5, I think. But anyway, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Oh no. Speaking of Jericho, he actually had Dean Ambrose and Jeff Hardy on the one of his recent Talk Is Jericho podcasts.
Oh my God, what was that like? Hey guys, hey Dean, what's up?
Well, hey man, what's going on? Yeah, it's been really crazy. You know, yeah, I was the champion, and yeah, Renee Young's pussy.
Okay, cool. Hey Jeff, what's up? Oh man, nothing, man. Me and Matt are back, and we're happy. We're the tag team champions right now, and everything is going good, man. It's great to be here. Wow, cool.
It was so bad that it was. You know, there were so many. It basically was. It was so bad that it was good. There were many bad moments that it ended up turning into something actually because they were telling a lot of cool stories.
That's why he had 2 people on. There's like no way am I having just Dean on. I saw him.
Just Dean or just Jeff because neither one of them are really that charismatic in interviews. And like they went ahead and they're talking about the final deletion and Dean comes out and he's like, yeah, that was pretty cool, man. And Jeff's like, yeah, we funded the whole thing ourselves. And Dean comes out and he's like, yeah. That shit was tight, you know, like something like that. Like it was, he just out of nowhere, he's so quiet, and he's like, "Yeah, that shit was crazy," you know, like and that was all he said. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that." Like that was the most commentary you got out of
oh my
Dean
God,
the whole time.
you know, Dean talks
Dean would
like...
pop up with like these little rhetoric at times and these little like one-liners, these little quips, and he'd be like, "Oh, well, that's really cool." Like that'd be it. You wouldn't hear from him again until Jericho like outright asked him something for a good 50, 60 seconds.
Dude, he is like
silence, and
he's
very
like
awkward.
He's like Fandango's character. Like
yes,
that's like that is
truly
Dean
personified.
Like yeah, like this is really him. Like that. I told you, dude. I haven't heard it, but I know how it. Like I know how it must have gone. Like
you hit the nail on the head there.
So yeah, tell me, you know, Jeff, you know, what was it like when TNA and you guys are funding all this stuff?
Well, man, it was unbelievable. You know, we had a film crew out there for like 3 days. You know, we edited ourselves. You know, we were there helping, and so we never did editing before. And you know, Matt was like,
"You got it exactly right."
Matt was there overseeing the whole thing. It was weird to see because these are things that he'd go around the house and he'd be like, you know, we could do this or that, and I'm like, man, this guy's you're crazy, you know. And the next thing you know, you're seeing it on the TV, and he's doing everything. It's unbelievable.
Wow, that's really. That's really crazy. Hey Dean. So Dean, did you see the final deletion? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, what'd you think of it, Dean?
Well, yeah, I was like, whoa, that was cool.
Yeah, okay, cool, Dean. Yeah, so you were the WWE champion at some point, and you know Jeff's been WWE champion too. What did you ever think that you would become WWE champion?
Well, you know, I'm here, and anything can happen in the WWE is what they say. So, you know, it was cool, man. It was cool having the belt. You know, it was cool.
All right, awesome. So, Jeff, do you think you'll ever be WWE champion again? Will you ever try to go for the title again?
Man, you know, I'm sure I will if the opportunity ever came up, perhaps. But right now, I mean, I really can't see anything beyond being a tag team champion in the WWE. My brother Matt, that's really our goal. It was our goal to come back here. You know, the fans. I promised the fans back in 2009 that I would come back to the WWE. And I did, and we accomplished something right away. It was kind of magical almost. So I'm kind of riding that high right now. Excuse the pun. Okay, I gotta fucking stop this.
Yeah, but Dean would come out and they're talking about the final deletion and how it was all self-funded and how they did it and stuff. And Dean out of nowhere, he's like, oh, those drones were real? Like, that was that was his whole commentary. Like,
dude, he is like the perfect stoner fucking, like, reactions. Like, whoa. Wow, what's that? What's that about? You know, I saw the bunny and I was like, whoa. Like, I wanted to give him a carrot backstage. And then I had a carrot. Yeah, man. So you guys really flew a drone, huh? That's crazy. You ever, like, cut somebody with it?
He's like, oh, those drones were real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, we watched it. That was nuts.
Yeah,
you know, like, that was the most he got out. But there was one cool piece in there. Jeff was talking about the reason there's been no discussion about him and Matt using the gimmick in WWE was strictly because of the lawsuit, and that when they signed their deals to return to WWE, no talk was made at time for the duo to use the gimmick in the company. But Jeff said that you know, they're both very adamant about bringing the gimmick into WWE, and it's all because of, you know, Anthem. So,
oh god, they're never
as
gonna
far
get
as Ed Nordholm saying that they don't want the gimmick and things like that, that is a bunch of bullshit. You know, they definitely do want it.
Well, but I mean, but no,
And,
because Jeff just
last
said.
night-
But you just said that Jeff said that they were never talking about it when they came in. Like, they never talked about it. Like, don't bring that gimmick. They just were like, come back.
Yeah, they just said come back.
So maybe they
There
didn't
wasn't
want it.
anything about using the gimmick yet.
So how is so? Wait a minute. So let me ask. So how is Ed Nordholm lying then? If you know what I mean? Because when is WWE asked him?
The Hardys are fighting for it. So
Well, the Hardys are,
exactly.
but
it's a
but-
tricky situation.
but again,
yes.
but wait a minute.
WWE's on the side of the Hardys too.
That's true, but Ed Nordholm said that WWE never reached out to him, and then he got killed and called a liar. But now
yeah. See, so that could be true. That it's all a matter of wording.
it sounds like the WWE have not asked him for it, and he said that, but the Hardys are saying he didn't say it. So I'm just confused about the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I do now. Once you say it, you know, it is easy to be misrepresented there.
I mean,
and I do understand
think that they're cunts. I think that Anthem are dickheads. I think that Ed Nordholm is a shitface sounding, and all these people are dickheads. They have
to me,
a
it
point.
sounds like WWE is just completely satisfied with the Hardys being a nostalgia act right now, though.
Right. I mean, but how ridiculous is it that we went from like, man, this is one of the greatest gimmicks going right now. This is like all I want to see. Imagine if this was in WWE, and then they come to WWE, and then it goes completely away. Like I would almost rather the Hardys go back to TNA. Like seriously, if I knew that the Hardys were going to come and that the gimmick would not happen, I would have said, just please stay with TNA, because at least number one, I'd be watching TNA still. Number two, there would be something to be like, oh shit, they're doing another deletion thing. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, God knows where they would have went with it had they not been stifled creatively and, you know, basically forced to leave because of bad contracts.
Imagine them on
all they wanted to stay. They wanted to stay in TNA. They
It was
said originally.
5%.
Yeah.
Do you think the
and
Hardys?
that was it.
Do you think the Hardys maybe just should have taken? I mean, do you think that they were being a little greedy, or do you think that they knew that they could go to WWE and they were kind of just like, "Fuck this, you're not taking 5%. We're going to the WWE."
I think they also, it wasn't a matter of them being greedy. I think they knew that there was a change coming with, you know, Anthem coming in, and that things were going to become more messy as time went on, and that if they didn't leave and get ahead of the curve, that they were going to get buried and really taken advantage of.
Do you remember if Bennett was gone by then? Did Bennett leave before them or after them? I can't remember.
I think him and Maria left right after the Hardys left.
Yeah, okay, never mind then. I haven't actually talked to Mike in a while, I mean, there's a couple little things here or there on Facebook, but we haven't.
Yeah, we still haven't seen. You know,
it's weird.
much news with them.
I separate Mike Bennett with like this is bizarre, but when I'm on his personal Facebook, like when me and him talk if I talk to him on Facebook or we leave comments or something like that, I never ask him about coming on the show or anything business wise. I don't know why. That's weird. Maybe I'm bizarre, but when I'm on there, I don't ask him. But when I want to have him on for an interview, I email his like business email or I like tweet him. It's weird. Like, but then when I'm on Facebook, I don't know why, because I feel like he wouldn't care. But I don't want to ask him on Facebook. Like, if that makes any sense.
You're respecting his privacy.
I guess like
it's you separate the business with.
I think one time I did say something. I think one time. Oh, by the way,
and I'm sure he wouldn't mind either.
No, I don't. He's like the nicest guy ever. Like Mike Bennett is the shit. I mean, like seriously, Mike Bennett is the fucking awesome. I reported on that shooting near Full Sail because everybody was telling me it was Full Sail, then it wasn't, and then it was weird. Then I made a video like, "Hey, it's not Full Sail, but here's my video." Full Sail University commented on the video.
Really?
Yeah, the actual YouTube channel for Full Sail University. I pinned it to the top. They were like, yeah, no students are harmed, and it's not near us and everything. So it's bizarre, but yeah, Full Sail University went on my YouTube channel and commented in the comment section. I thought that was funny. But yeah, I mean, it's awful though.
Wow,
People are still hurt.
I'm good on them for being so adamant about making sure everybody knows that the students are safe.
Well, how terrifying is it that somebody got, it's obviously it's a work thing. So someone got fired or something, and then they came back and killed people.
Yeah, it was about a disgruntled employee that came back, and that's terrible in its own regard.
Do you remember when that was a problem? Like, was it the 90s, like the early 90s?
Yeah, it was a stigma with postal workers. That's how going postal got its term.
Right. It's
because there was a lot of postal workers that were disgruntled, and union changes had been made, and they were going in and shooting up post offices, and that was kind of a unfortunately common thing going on. And then a lot of workplaces were having people come in and shoot their bosses, and
it's like we're back to that. We're back to like the. Doesn't this? I mean, I know we were young at the time, like, but I mean, because I was 7 by the time the 90s hit. I was 7, but I remember this sort of kind of chaos, like a little bit of chaos that was going on. It was like the late 80s. Early 90s, but especially the late 80s. I feel like we're back there. Like, it's like, like Reagan's president again, the Russians, there's something going on. Like, everyone's always complaining about the Russians now. Like, there's Cold War stuff. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's a weird fucking time right now. There's, like, racial problems now. Everybody needs a safe space. Like, this country is fucking bizarre. It's only these small groups of people. But anyway, we'll move on. But
yeah. It was really weird, though. You're right. And then it kind of led into Columbine happening, and that's when the tide really changed. And then it became more attacking innocent bystanders than people you knew.
And it sort of like went away for a while, too, though. I feel like the mid-2000s and stuff was great. Like, we had this prosperity. Like, nobody cared anymore, like, about it. Like,
yeah, you didn't really hear about shootings. And then Virginia Tech happened, and then from there it just kind of...
Then it kept coming,
spiraled out of control.
And then everything, dude. It's all, every blame, I mean, I don't know. I think most of us are normal, and we all understand. Like, nobody fucking hates anybody or whatever. But there's this little group of every group. There's a little group of every group that adds up to being a little bit of a group that's fucking terrifying the whole world right now. But
exactly.
Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, I wonder what they're like on a bus. They get on a bus, I mean, and Matt Hardy's like, like, yes, wonderful. And like people on the bus are like, what the fuck? And then like Jeff's like, he does this, we'll be fine, he's got a thing. Yes, delete.
He's got a condition.
Delete. Yo, man, you just tell me you want to delete me? What the fuck? Delete, yes. Man, don't worry. He does this. It's okay. I don't know. I want to see the Hardys on a bus.
I would kill to see them.
The broken Hardys ride a bus. Brother Nero will procure your purses and your watches. Oh, that's even better. The Hardys rob a bus. The fucking Hardys rob a bus. Brother Nero will procure your wallets and your watches, and we will take them back to where we are from, and we will wear your gold across our great home because we deserve your gold. And if you do not give us your gold, you will be deleted. Yes, yes. He's right. If you don't give us your gold, you will be deleted. We will delete you.
You should have Matt using a selfie stick to film
a megaphone. A fucking megaphone.
A megaphone
screaming at people. Stick. Yo, you ain't getting my motherfucking phone, asshole. Yes, you will be deleted. Yes, Vanguard 1, destroy him. Like, fucking beating people up on a bus. See, if I worked at TNA, I would have done that. I would have had
people.
Oh yeah, dude. I would have had the Hardys. I mean, if the Hardys ever went heel, they could rob the bus. They couldn't rob the bus's faces, but. Or maybe they could.
Maybe they could. There could be a reason they're trying to get to their next destination.
How about this? How about this? Matt Hardy has become obsessed with gold, not just title gold. So like anywhere he goes, like he's got a thing for gold. So he sees gold everywhere. So like yeah, they're on a bus and he's trying to rob everyone of the gold, and Brother Nero's trying to tell him to stop, and he can't stop it. Like there's so many places you could go with this shit.
First start off biting the bus driver, and then Brother Nero drive the bus and.
You must pull this bus over. Fucking this show has gone off the rails like unbelievably, but it's if I was
we entertained for sure.
You know what? I mean, if I was listening to this podcast, I would love it. I would love whatever we're talking about right now.
We got an incredible reenactment of Dean Ambrose and Brother Nero talking to Chris Jericho. Can't beat that.
I haven't watched it yet, but I just know how it went. Dude, if you go back and watch my impersonation of Stone Cold interviewing Dean, that's pretty funny too. Like he's
oh, that was spot on as well.
You're the WWE champion. Yeah, I'm the WWE. Yeah, I am. I got the belt right here. And yeah, do you have a fucking pulse? You fucking idiot! Like. I just called you a jackass. Oh, yeah. Okay. What were your parents? What were your parents like, son? They're there. It was all right. Yeah, but your dad, your mother, they weren't there for you, really. Like, yeah, I don't know what you're doing right now, but it's like the worst fucking interview. Like, what the fuck, bro?
And Dean Ambrose kept trying to dig up some juice and talk about things, and you could tell. Friggin' Dean was, like you said, a bump on a log.
Dude, you just want to slap Dean Ambrose, dude. You just want to, wake the fuck up.
Austin did a great job giving him going off points, and talking about, and then he would try and bring up his childhood or what happened in high school, what got you into wrestling, what made you change your life, and, Dean would just shut it down every time, be like, no, not really. Did you watch wrestling growing up?
Yeah, that's what it was like. He had all these. He had all these bullet points. Like, oh, well, then this happened, then that happened, and then what happened? And then Dean would just be like, "Well, not really like that, but well, what was it like? You fucking like. I mean, the guy is, man. I don't know. He's cool as hell. He looks great, and he's good and shit. But boy, is he a fucking I want to hang out with Dean Ambrose, but I don't want to watch him as the champion, which is weird because. What happened to him? Because, as John Moxley, he would go into these promos, that were great. But in person, it's I don't know, he's definitely, I don't think, maybe he's not comfortable with who he is. I don't know what's going on, bro. But I think clearly WWE realized, well, this guy ain't going to work. I mean, if you put The Rock down as the champion during that time, he would have fucking flipped out on Stone Cold. Dean should have, and that's what I said. He should have flipped out. I think Dean Ambrose should have gone nuts on Stone Cold. He should have been like, I'm the fucking WWE champion, motherfucker. I don't know what you're doing with your little podcast and your microphone, and you're down on Texas hiding somewhere. I didn't fucking pick up this belt and walk away because I couldn't do business with Brock Lesnar. I'm here right now, motherfucker. He should have called out Stone. That would have been crazy. Stone Cold would have been like, fucking got me. It would have been great, but he didn't do that because he has no fucking... no real
fire, drive, or personality. Yeah, no fire. That's a great way to put it.
And we're in someone other's. I mean, maybe he's broken. Maybe the WWE has broken Dean because he wasn't like this. Now he is, and then he made a comment that I'm in somebody else's sandbox, so we can't do the things I wanted to do. And CM Punk said the things that CM Punk said, and literally every single thing that CM Punk said came the fuck true.
Yeah, it all came to fruition. I mean, that makes sense. Like you said, him saying he's in somebody else's sandbox. Because Dean, if you watch his early days on YouTube and things like that, he really is a whole different fire. He's off the wall. He's very enigmatic. He's very he's like wrestling personified. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
He's a crazy bastard. And
it's like he's on drugs. I mean, prescribed. Prescribed downers. It's
I understand that, and maybe he is depressed, or maybe it's just him not caring and he's just going through the motions. But
maybe he does Renee every 2 hours because he sort of acts like after you did it and then you smoked weed. He has no ferocity.
That's a possibility.
I picture
too. She does look pregnant. You did note that the other day.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be mean. She looked hot. She looked beautiful. But why was she wearing a tank top? And she looked a little puffy, a little bit I don't know what it is, but she looked hot. I mean, but it was, I think I don't know, man. She looked like she might
be
glowing.
Trying to hide that bump.
Glowing a bit, you know what I mean? I know what pregnant women look like now, Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely, maybe it's just hot in there. I don't fucking know. But dude, Dean Ambrose is now the type of guy, I feel like it's oh shit, Dean, that guy just stole your car. I picture Dean being like, oh shit, yeah. Oh shit, there he goes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Brings it back with a full tank of gas.
Hey, Rocky, hey, Rocky Maivia, hey, Rocky, hey, Rock, that guy just stole your car. What? Motherfucker, this son of a bitch, someone give me the cell phone, motherfucker, son of a bitch. Man, stole a Rock's car, I'll whoop his monkey ass. That's the Rock. But Dean Ambrose would be like, whoa, yeah, he did. And that's like you said, it's Fandango. And like I said, it's Fandango.
I left my gum in the console. Damn it! You know,
I left my shit. Yeah. That's more. You nailed it. That's more.
I had
like
half
it.
a pack of gum left.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. Like, Dean, this guy's stealing your car, Dean. Oh no, I know, dude. I can't fucking believe it, dude. He took your car. What are we gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I had a whole bag of cotton candy in the passenger seat. You can only buy that cotton candy in Minnesota. Fuck. No, but Dean, he stole your car. I mean, isn't your wallet in there? Yeah. But I was really wanting that cotton candy. He's like totally that Fandango character. He is. That's him. They could have just had Dean Ambrose be the fashion police as himself. That's his role.
He could have. It would have been perfect.
And honestly, that's always been Johnny Curtis's deal too, and they never let him do it, and now he's doing it. And I feel like they're letting him do it because of what he did with that Southpaw regional wrestling. Do you remember that? Because he did really well there. Like that fun. He was funny.
Did fantastic. That shit was hilarious. I really enjoyed that.
Listen, we only got a couple more points real quick. We got to get out of here. We ran over time goofing around, but my fault,
we had
actually.
Some good fun.
Eric Bischoff called a fan asked Eric Bischoff about Vince Russo being negative in today's WWE product while putting over WCW's Bash at the Beach and all these other things. And Eric Bischoff wrote, "Delusional clown riding solo in his own clown car." Wow. Cornette and Bischoff don't like Vince Russo.
No, I mean, and that's a fact. A lot of people have been down on Russo lately. Well, I mean, over the years, obviously he's had his critics, but I feel like the past 3-4 years, a lot of people have come out against him. So,
well, I can see why Bischoff doesn't like him because, I mean, first of all, Bischoff competed against him, right? So, like, Bischoff competed against him, and he's essentially the guy who brought the WWE back to life. So, not only does Vince Russo help bring the WWE back to life against WCW. But
then he put a bullet in WCW.
but then he actually arrives in WCW. Like so I hate you because you used to be the competition. Now you're here and you killed us. Like so Eric Bischoff must just like really fucking hate him.
Absolutely.
I mean there's some contradictions with Vince Russo. Like I mean like he talks about this Christianity and all these other things, and then he's like drooling over women everywhere. I don't know. He's just. I like Vince though. I do. I know him enough that he's always been cool to us, and he's a good guy from what I see now. I mean, I get why people maybe don't like him or whatever, but I like Vince. Never done anything to me. I think he's a pretty smart guy. When I think he knows this, that he works better when he works great when he has a filter. Like when he's
absolutely.
I can be a little bit like that too. Like I go off the rails with things, and then if somebody had been like, "Don't do that,"
you off the rails? Never.
Right. I have no filter, and it's just all out there, and shit happens.
Yeah, Vince had a good tweet last night about Alexa wanting him to, beat his ass raw with a kendo stick.
Yeah, which I like. I like that Vince is like a manly dude and shit like that. But I just like it's weird. It just like it never like anybody who's always like religion, and then they go and do these. It doesn't
translate well. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. I just don't like how people pick and choose. Like, oh, well, I don't know. At least he's not out shooting people.
Comes across weird at times. Yeah,
it is weird. Yeah, but fuck it. I don't know. Play with it.
Also, a few little things that we did want to touch upon. WWE announced that they're returning to the Barclays Center August 19th for NXT Takeover Brooklyn. This will be the third iteration that NXT will have there.
Oh, that guy's going to beat me up though. I don't want to go to that because that guy's going to punch me. Remember?
Yeah, that guy's going to kick your ass. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 9th at 10 a.m. So. If anybody can get tickets, obviously, it's SummerSlam weekend. Should be another great show there. Rebby Hardy put out a funny tweet. She said, "What will arrive first, the new baby or the new fridge? Will my water end up broken before Matt Hardy does? Stay tuned." That happened after they lost the titles last night, so that was pretty funny. You also wanted to bring up Vader. There was a lot of hubbub yesterday saying Vader is hopefully inducted into the Hall of Fame next year because he's retiring. And he had sent out a tweet on the 4th saying, "With great sorrow, I leave my firstborn, my greatest love of all, for a chance to exist in the same plane of existence of my GRCH yet to exist." I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but people took it as him retiring from the ring. And then Vader tweeted out at 1 a.m. last night saying, "Rumors are false. I'm still working wrestling." He said, as usual, someone got it wrong. I have not wrestled my last match, Lord willing, not for years. I love it when you got them guessing. So Vader's still at it, and his health is still in question. So we have no update on how he's doing or feeling. But he's still able to wrestle, so he's got to be okay to some extent.
I miss when he I missed what happened with everything. Like I thought he was going to like. I missed that he. I'm saying miss. I must be having a stroke. I'm disappointed that he wasn't in the Hall of Fame this year. And it's like if he's not in the Hall of Fame next year, like I mean that might be it. I mean, there's actually people that are like, oh, you know, he's making the heart thing up, and it's like, what? Like this guy. I mean, I saw him in person, dude. He did not look good. Like he looked like. I mean, he ran around the ring and shit and did all right. But I mean, he looked like he was gonna like lose breath, like pass out. You know what I mean? So it's like Hall of Fame wise, if he doesn't go in this year, I don't know if he'll be alive when he does go in. I mean, I hope he does. Yeah. I hope he lives another. You know, I hope he lives for years, and you know that doesn't. None of that happens. But
I hope so as well.
I can't believe he's out there wrestling. I can't believe he gets in the ring.
It's surprising to me as well. And like you said, you know, you showed me a video of the show that he was at, and he didn't look well at all. He looked not just like not out of shape. He just looked in pain, out of breath. You know, disjointed even. So
yeah. Hopefully
that's not the case, like you said, and I hope they bring him into the Hall of Fame. That would, you know, it's certainly deserved, and it's been a long time coming. Also, a bit of news coming out is that people are saying the reason Bayley was squashed so, like, you know, single-handedly last night is that it's going to be a full character reset for Bayley.
What?
People feel that in the back she got too much too soon. She captured the championship just 6 months after her main roster debut, and it was shocking, but it didn't have a big feel moment to it. So a huge part of her charm in NXT was her long wait to capture the title. Fans really got behind her. So apparently they're going to try and reset her character.
How did they not know this? How do they not know
I don't know how they didn't see it beforehand.
The chase for the ultimate like baby face is like amazing. She is like Tommy Dreamer style. Like she should have never won the title like that. I couldn't believe that they
especially on an episode of Raw, and then she retained at Mania, which just felt lackluster. It wasn't special because we already saw her win it. She should have won it at Mania.
Fucking people on Raw don't know what they're doing. What if that's what they're doing? Like that's what they just admitted that they're idiots. Like, did they not know wrestling? Like, what is going on? Like, what the fuck, dude? Bayley is someone who should be chasing for so long until the big event maybe, or until a moment, or you think she's finally gonna do it, then she doesn't, then again, then she doesn't, and then she finally does. Like, I mean, that should be what happens with Bayley. What the fuck were they thinking? They bought Sasha. They ruined Sasha. This ain't Sasha's fault because in an NXT she was a fucking god. So they botched Sasha Banks. They botched Bayley. And the only one they didn't botch
was
Charlotte
to a certain extent.
Well, but I think they actually gave a shit.
I mean, Charlotte right now is doing nothing on SmackDown. She's feuding with the Welcoming Committee, and it's like,
well, you know, Raw did really well with her, like because they just decided,
they did.
Well, let's push Charlotte, and then who cares about everything else? That was like literally what they did. Like, let's push Charlotte, and everything else, fuck it. Like, and then they finally were like, all right, Bayley, and we'll get it.
Feels like they can only focus on one person at a time. Yeah, and it's at the detriment of everyone else. That's why a lot of people are concerned that Finn Balor was choked out last night. By Samoa Joe. They're worried that that's, a huge setback for Finn. I don't think it'll be a huge issue in the limelight of things. But
no, I don't think so because
everybody's worrying. Balor passing out to the Coquina Clutch is going to be the end of his push. No, I like the fact that he passed out and he didn't tap out. But I would have preferred to see someone else take the hit last night. Bray or even Rollins maybe, preferably Rollins. But we know that wouldn't have happened. Yeah, but it also can help build story in the future, and we know that Samoa Joe and
you just nailed
have
it.
A huge history with each other.
You just nailed it because when these guys fight sometime, he'll be like, "You passed out to the Coquina," you know what I mean? And Finn Balor, that will be the story that Bayley didn't get, which is like, "Oh wow." Finn Balor's the underdog, and Samoa Joe's gonna say, "Well, the last time we were in a ring, I made you pass out, and that's why I'm the champion now." And Finn Balor can be like, "You know what I mean? when it's one-on-one, you know, that's not going to happen, like, you know, blah, 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 whatever the fuck. I won't pass out ever again to you. I don't care if I die, like, whatever, trying. And then Finn Balor can be like, well, you weren't facing a demon or something. And it's like, oh, shit, he's going to whip out the demon shit.
Exactly.
So there's just so much. So
yep, and that could be when the demon returns.
So I'm not mad at that. I thought that was okay.
No, me neither. And the more I sit back on it, I wasn't thrilled at first, but now, you know, I really did enjoy it. Once I broke everything down, and I mean, that's the problem with the pay-per-view when you head right into the review. You know, you need a little time to digest. And I think I would have given the night a 4. I gave it a 3.5 last night. I think I would have given it a 4 overall. And
well, I think I would have given it higher too, but I gave it a lower rating just because the name pissed me off, because I hate the name Extreme Rules when it wasn't.
that really set me off as well, especially when, you know, you don't follow the theme of your pay-per-view. It's just really frustrating.
Kudos to the main event guys, though. I mean, that match was great, but
yeah, the main event was very well done. Everyone worked their asses off, and I mean, I am happy that Samoa Joe took it. You know, I really think that him versus Brock Lesnar, I really think it could be a next level true match of the year contender. I'm just worried, and maybe you can help, you know, ease some of my fears, but I don't want to see it turn into another, you know, Goldberg Kevin Owens scenario where they just squash Samoa Joe in 2 minutes.
No, I don't think that will happen.
I don't think they'd be that stupid. I really don't. I don't think they'd screw over the fans, especially the internet, you know, being so behind Samoa Joe. He's the internet darling at this point, and everybody wants to see him succeed. I don't think they would be that foolish and make such a huge mistake. But Raw Creative has done it before. That I'm very worried at this point in time that we'll see Samoa Joe get this huge push from winning. You know, he made this great promo on Raw Talk last night. I don't know if you caught it after the review, but my God, he was excellent on the mic. And it was very explosive, very raw, very real. And I just don't want to see it lead to him getting his ass kicked in 2 minutes by, you know,
it
Brock
could be
Lesnar,
there could be some sort of a count out, to be honest, in this match. I don't know if both men will get counted out fighting or if one of them will get counted out. I feel like that if they did that, it would lead to another match, which I don't think they want to do another one between them two. So I don't think that, maybe that won't happen, but like that's where I was thinking about going. But Brock Lesnar has only lost.
I would have Samoa Joe win. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they have to. I think, but I think they wanted I think they might have wanted Braun Strowman to be the one who beat him. So, you know, for Braun to not get that chance, you know, maybe they blame that on him. You know, I don't know. It depends on their thinking, their method. You know, because I mean, Brock Lesnar's only lost to Goldberg and to the Undertaker. Undertaker cheated to beat him once, and that was it. And then Goldberg beat him once. Like, straight up beat his ass once. Or twice or once? Wasn't it twice?
He beat him once.
So, one legit loss to Goldberg, who was a machine, but then he beat him at WrestleMania. One loss to the Undertaker, but it was sort of cheating, and then he beat him at WrestleMania. So, or he had already
seen him lose since he defeated the Streak. Before that, we saw him lose to a multitude of people: Triple H, Punk, you know. I believe Punk was on there. John Cena, you know.
Yeah, I mean, before then, Brock Lesnar was way human.
He took the streak from Taker. We haven't seen him lose, except, like you said, that was it. That's all I could think of.
Goldberg once.
Goldberg and the Undertaker with that stupid tap out.
I mean,
scenario,
if anybody, the next guy that beats him, I mean, because Goldberg is Goldberg, you know, and then Undertaker is Undertaker. But if anybody else, the next guy to beat him that's a regular or a new guy, like that will be monumental for that person. Like whether it's Samoa Joe,
you're all set. Your career is made at that point.
Yeah, like you're fucking dude. That's crazy. So, will they pull the trigger on, you know what I mean? Do they want that to go to, that's still available to go to somebody. Is it going to go to Roman, Joe, or Braun Strowman? So, to me, WWE, although I think they really like Samoa Joe, but do they really want it to go to Samoa Joe, or do they want it to go to Strowman, or do they want it to go to Roman? You know, so I
think that Triple H really likes Samoa Joe, and I'm worried that Vince might not be behind Samoa Joe as much as Triple H is.
I think it's going to start out a war, and I think in the end it's going to be similar to the Goldberg match. I think Brock Lesnar is going to win. That's just how I feel, because I feel like they really wanted Lesnar saved for Roman or Strowman.
Yeah, or even Finn. I mean, we heard for a while too.
Maybe.
So that was heavily reported.
Maybe, like, because that's a story there. I mean, I know, like, the dude David and Goliath thing. I mean, that's a huge story. If Finn were to get, Brock Lesnar or whatever, that would be really.
Yeah, that would be unbelievably incredible.
They'd have to do a really good. If they could do a real good job of making it seem like Finn's just getting the shit kicked out of him. I mean, they've sort of done that with Jeff Hardy in the past, with like guys like the Undertaker or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might be able to do it. We got to get out of here, but I'm leaving it up for debate. I still am not ready to commit to an answer on who's going to win that. But
no, I'm not either. But it definitely makes you want to watch Great Balls of Fire, and so they got their marketing in there.
This pay-per-view happened to set up that pay-per-view. To be honest, I mean that's what the whole thing was about. They should have renamed the thing though, not Extreme Rules. They should have called it WWE Out There. All right,
like you said, Bad Blood would have worked perfect.
Bad Blood would have been fine. Just call it Bad Blood. And which doesn't make as much sense, but kind of. I don't know. Put Dean and The Miz on the cover. I don't know. And also the tag teams had Bad Blood. And so did Neville and Aries. And so did all those.
Aries, yeah. So, it would have worked perfect. The women had Bad Blood with each other. Everybody did. So
everybody had Bad Blood.
Would have summed up the night great.
Extreme Rules made no fucking sense.
Also, we got to see the dirt. What happens with the dirt on Kurt Angle, too. I'm looking forward to that tonight.
What's going on here? Yeah, period blood. Will it be Cass? Will it be the Revival? Or will it be somebody else we don't know about? All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for listening. Shout out to Mike Gorey and Corey Wilson and two of the new patrons. I'll be kind of repetitively shouting you out. I've already shouted you guys out on different shows. Pooch Dog 97 pledging $5 a month. Thank you to Pooch Dog. Cody Jenkins $5 a month. Informal with $1 a month as well. Shout out to John D's $2 a month. James Wetzel. I think I shouted everybody else out, but man, thank you guys so much for being on Patreon. Because you're on Patreon right now, make sure if you haven't gone and looked it up, the Corrupted podcast, Corrupted episode number 1 and 2 are up there for you. Corrupted episode number 1 is free right now on, I think iTunes hasn't listed it yet, but it's available on Podbean, or Ask Me For It. It's on Podbean though. If you search Corrupted podcast, it's free. It's 2 hours long. We also released episode 2 to all patrons, so if you're a Patreon, check out patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. The link is down below, and you can hear episode 2 hours long of Corrupted, and it is awesome. You're going to love it. It's one of my favorite podcasts we do. And what else? Hit me up on Twitter at Joe Cronin JCS. Thanks for listening. We'll be live tonight after Monday Night Raw, so we'll see you after Raw tonight. Thank you, guys. Thanks to Jake DeMarco. Hit him up on Twitter at Countdown Ended. And thanks, Jake. We'll get out of here. Well, you guys know that times are tough on YouTube. Thank God there's patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Tons of you guys really, it's really awesome that you've all gone over there. We have over 100 patrons now supporting the show. You guys have come in clutch, and we're still looking to get there, and I think we can. I interact directly with you guys through messages and polls, and you will get behind-the-scene videos and shoot videos on things that nobody else gets to hear, plus the bonus ones. Everything is over there, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. It's been great to talk to you guys over there and have the community that we have. So thank you so much for supporting. And if you haven't become one yet, get over there and become a member of the Cronin Club. I appreciate you guys for supporting the show.